Hi, Sissy. Good evening. Can you hear me? Just shuffling the cards for anybody who wants a card today. Just paying back for my absence for all of these months. Oh, thank you so much, sis. You're most welcome. I'm reading from the Moonology deck. Sure, sis. You have a card right now coming up. One card coming up for my sister Cindy. The energies are very, very strong. One card right now coming up. Sorry, there's an echo, I think, on my end. So, it's good energies, sis. The eclipse is coming. It's going to shatter a lot of things that we have taken for granted that are just sitting in our lives, not doing us any good. And it's time to let go. I've been there myself this month, so I can feel it. So don't feel weird when you're asked to let go of certain things that don't serve your highest and greatest good, sis. Just the card. Oh, there you go. That's your card. It just fell right out. 2 cards by Cindy. And if you can see them, you'll see them on your screen. It says, look at the bigger picture and believe in the impossible. These are the best cards in my deck, in this deck. I absolutely love them. If you want to see them clearly, here you go. That's Believe in the Impossible. I love this card. It's a Blue Moon card. And there's one more card. I'm not sure if you can see it clearly. Am I showing it like reverse? Hold on. Yeah, I am. Okay, so this is the Blue Moon card. It's Believe in the Impossible. I love this card. And the second card is Look at the bigger picture. I think you know what they mean, sis. It's time to start something you've been mulling for a very long time. And the Spirit is probably saying to you that you need to move away from all the minor details and all the perfect times and perfect alignments and just go with it. It's time to just roll with it. Time to just start, sis. You know that it's time. You know it's time. Just start. Just get on with it. And let's see. See what else comes up. I'm going to pull a card for the collective as well. And if anyone wants to... I don't know. Hold on. I'm having a little trouble aligning to my camera because I haven't been live in ages. But I hope I'm doing it right. I'm just going to share this on our group, Sissy, and hope that anybody wants to... okay. Hold on. If anybody wants to join in, the more the merrier. It's always good for people to share the love. We're sharing the love, sis. How are you doing, sis? How is everything else going on with you? I know we just talked, but I'm just putting it out there. Did you share my video somewhere? Sis? Okay. I'm just going to share it for a couple of more places. Let's pull another card for the collective, shall we? Let's see what comes out. These are beautiful, beautiful cards. I'm just going to let them be here. My camera and my equipment is not doing me any favors today. Okay, this is another card that's come up for the collective today. And that's a beautiful card. It says a win-win outcome is on the forecast. I love it. I'm showing it wrong again. There you go. I've seen that whenever this card comes up, it's always something to do with an activity or a decision that we have taken. We had a similar card this week in my midweek readings where it says, take a decision and you have the Midas touch. It was a very similar card arrangement in that reading as well. And I think that it is very similar in energy to that reading. And it's just the energy of this whole month where it's also the year ending. We have had a very, very difficult year, very challenging year. It's not been difficult, it's been very challenging because of what we have been able to let go of, what we have been able to realize, our own behavioral patterns, spirals in our life where we need to learn a lesson and just move on with grace, which we haven't done in the past. We have been called time and again to do it this whole year. And I think it's time now. We are ready. It's time to move on in a new phase of our life. That's what I'm thinking. So that's what I've been called for to do this whole month, and that's what I'm trying to do. So, yeah, I know. It's awesome. I just love it. I love it. So if anybody else wants a card, please let me know, and I will move forward. And hold on. Sorry guys, there's a lag between the comments coming in at your end and me listening to your comments, or me reading your comments. So just bear with me. I'm trying to figure out if anybody else has commented and they want a card. Oh, there it is. I see Jill. Hi Jill. Would you want a card? Please let me know. I've just picked a collective card which says a win-win outcome is forecast for everybody, and it's a beautiful, beautiful card. Actually, all the 3 cards that came out in today's reading are some of my favorite cards in this deck. So I don't know what more surprises are in for this time we have. Cindy had a beautiful couple of cards from this deck as well. I'm reading from the Moonology deck by Yasmin Boland. It is one of my favorite decks, and I read that deck every time I do a reading during the full moon, new moon, eclipse, especially lunar eclipse. So if you want a card, yes, there you go. I saw your comment, Jill. I'm just going to pull a card for Jill, and we'll see where that goes. This is my live after ages. I haven't been doing live on my page at all, so pardon me if there are some glitches and I do it wrong. Just give me a chance. Is all I'll say. This year has been all about that, giving me a chance. So there. This is your card, Jill, and it says, see, there you go. Today the cards are just rolling out. It says, this is the end of a tough cycle. There you go. It has been a tough year. That's what I was just talking to Cindy about. It's been a very, very tough year, very challenging year where everybody has been put to test in some way or the other. For some, it has been financial challenges. For me personally, it was financial. It was professional. It was health. I've been down in the dumps with my health since the beginning of this year. And I've just about kind of had some relaxation to yeah, in that sense. So I'm just feeling like a huge pressure has been lifted off of my chest and my life. So this is a very beautiful card for you, Jill. It's absolutely perfect. I know. Oh, that's wonderful, because we had another card which came out for the collective, and it said a win-win outcome is on the forecast. So if you've been making any decisions or about to make any decisions or choosing between 2 or 3 outcomes that you've been mulling over, I think it's your time. I think you're making the right choice, and you will end up making a perfect choice for yourself. Absolutely perfect. This whole year, I'm telling you, seriously, I'm not even joking. It's been one thing after the other. Cindy and I have been talking since the beginning of this year, and it's just been non-stop. Like, I haven't had a chance to literally sit down and breathe since January 2021. It's just been one thing after the other, constantly battling for little things and delays, and it's just amazing. This year has been just, I'm like, hallelujah. Really? Is that what you want to do to me? So yeah, okay, so that's cool. Awesome. Thank you for joining us today, Jill, and I hope I can do more lives as we go forward. I'm just shuffling the cards, just doing a shuffle to see if something else wants to come out. So I'm just going to take off your card for now, Jill, and I'm going to see if something else comes out as a collective message, because I'm going to keep this live on in case anybody stumbles upon it and it makes any sense to them. They can take it away. My readings are timeless. They are not bound to that particular week or year or month. They are yours when you see them. That's how I do my readings. So, oh, there we go. 2 cards just popped down. I live in India. I'm actually in India, and I live in the western coast of India. So it's about 6:30-ish my time, 6:30 in the evening my time. So that's cool. It's good to meet you, my sister. And let's see what 2 other cards came out today. So I'm taking that these will be for the collective, for you, Cindy, whoever else is on this live and wants to see it. So the first card is saying your dreams need a practical plan. That's a very important card. And the second card says communication is key. So whenever I get these 2 cards in my reading, I take it that these are like a progression card to the next decision that you're going to make. So if you're deciding for a job and you have decided on taking a particular path, that's the first step, right? The first step is to think about what you want to do. But unless you start on it, unless you take the first step, you're not really going there, are you? So in your head, you have taken a decision, but the rest of your body, practicality, has to follow. So this is a card which is the next step for you. And it means that you're ready and you need to start actually practically planning your steps towards that goal. And the best thing that will help you when you plan practically in your goal, I'm not sure if you can see this card probably because of the candle, but is to kind of make sure that communication is on your end. Because sometimes we want to say something, but we end up saying something else. So whenever this card comes in, it's just telling you that you need to, from what I think of it, it's a Gemini sign, so you need to balance what you're saying. It's a card of new moon in Gemini, so it's all about balancing what you're trying to say. You shouldn't be an extreme end in your communication. So what I tell people when I see this card in my way, because I read the cards intuitively, I don't really go by the books. I go by what my heart and spirit is channeling through me. So I would say bring love into the situation. So whatever you say it out of love, compassion, kindness, and collaboration. And that will always work for you. Cool. So that's awesome. I know. I think we're all in that stage where we're planning to do something and like take our dreams forward in the next step. So if anybody else wants a card, please hop in. This is a free-for-all 1-card reading, but I don't really stick to 1 card. If 2 cards fall out of the deck, then you have 2 cards free. And I'm here for the next 15-20 minutes. So if you want a card, please let me know and you can join in. You're most welcome to join in. I know, Sissy, you've been doing YouTube in your head since I think about a month or so or more. Just like that, the live was for me, because I've been mulling going back live on this channel, on this page, for about 1.5 years, to be honest. And I just didn't feel that the energy is right enough for me to go on this page. So I think it's for both of us. We're starting on some things that were left out. So yeah, it's good. Anybody else on the live and they want to get a card from me, please let me know. It takes a few minutes for the comments to appear in the comment list on my page, because I'm on live. There's a lag in it, so I will see your comments and I'll get to you if you request for a card. All right, cool. So, let's see. Who else? Who else? I'm just doing a couple of things here to share my life. Okay, and I'm back. Oh, we have Helen. Hi, Helen. Welcome to this page, and welcome to eclipse readings, pre-eclipse readings. So we were just discussing before you came on board that eclipse is a time of very, very high energy. Sometimes the energy is quite high enough to break patterns, to compel you to let go of things that you're just hanging on to just for the sake of old times. You know, that kind of energy. So it's a good energy, it's a refreshing energy, it's like a declutter of your life. It's a declutter of this particular phase of your life. Every time the eclipse comes, it washes away things with it that you don't need anymore in your life. They may seem painful at first, but eventually you'll realize that it was all for your own good. It opens up space for things that you do want in your life to come in. So one card coming up for Helen. I'm just shuffling the cards. And I'll let you know once the card opens up for you. Just give me a couple of minutes. And oh, there you go. Okay, there you go, Helen. There's a card for you. Oh, it's beautiful. I love this deck. It says, have faith in your dreams. And there's a crescent moon right here. And there's butterflies and beautiful flowers. It's a promise of spring. This is a promise of spring card. Whenever this card comes in anybody's readings, I would tell them to take a look at what they're thinking. Because oftentimes we are so good at sabotaging our own future. I keep on telling people that thoughts are things, and every time you think something negative or self-sabotaging or something that borders on fears and regrets and I'm not enough, what if this doesn't work? You know, you are kind of channeling your own thoughts and fueling that stream, which is not particularly positive. I'm not saying that we have to be positive all the time. That doesn't work for anybody, to be honest. We have negative thoughts. They are part and parcel of who we are as human beings. But you have to train your mind to look at the bright side. Sometimes there isn't a bright side, don't get me wrong. And there's nothing wrong in it. There's nothing wrong in, you know, saying that I need a break. You know, I just need to rest, which is also fine. But sometimes you're unnecessarily and overly critical about your life. Sometimes you end up comparing your life with people around you, and you forget to realize that you're your own person. You're not them. And you are on a trajectory which is entirely, uniquely only yours. So you cannot be anybody else, and nobody else can be you. But you know where you need to go. In your heart, deep down, you will know where you're going. You just keep doubting it because it feels too big or too beautiful or too great to be true. But that's not right. The universe has abundance for everybody, every single person. The moment you say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to reach there, and you start building on it little by little, it doesn't have to be a big step. You know, you can just build on it little by little, just one step at a time, and you will get there. So this is that card for you. You will get there, honey. Just keep at it. Do not let yourself down. You don't deserve that. So that's your card, Helen. And it's a beautiful card. I love it. Okay, shuffling some more. Let's see. Oh, you're so welcome. You're always welcome. I have saged my space today, so the cards are absolutely bang on in my head. That's what the spirit is telling me. I never read from the books because that's not how I roll. Most of my cards will be intuitive. They will be channeled. So don't worry if you go back to the deck's book and you see something else, because the way I read it is the way you were meant to see it. Also, my cards are timeless, so they don't follow any particular time frame. So whenever you see this card, that's when it's meant to be yours. Okay? Anybody else wants a card, please let me know. There's something that popped up, so I'm gonna just read it. It's a beautiful card. I think it's for everybody. It says New Moon in Pisces, and it's asking you to meditate and contemplate. I don't know what's about the year ends, but there's always a time for me to contemplate on the year gone by. I'm not a person who makes resolutions, but I often sit and think about what I've let go, what I have clutched on very tightly, what I need to relax a little bit, what I'm thinking of doing in the next year, where am I going, am I doing the right thing for where I want to be. So I do that in the last 1 month or 1.5 months when the year is ending. So I think this is for everybody. I think most of us do that. They take stock of the year gone by and they kind of build up on it for the coming year. So that's that card for me in my head. Yes, a Pisces card. Yes, that's your card too, Cindy. Aww. I love Pisces. Pisces are cool people. My mom was a Pisces, you know that. Okay, I see a card request from Lori. So I'm going to shuffle for Lori and we'll see what comes out. So for people who have just joined, I'm reading from the Moonology deck by Yasmin Boland. It's one of my favorite decks. It's one of my oldest decks also, but I keep returning to the deck for all my new moon, full moon, lunar eclipse readings. I sometimes also do solar eclipse readings with this deck, and they are very, very good. Okay, so one card coming up for Lori. Let's see what comes up, okay? Okay. Oh, there you go. That's one for Lori right there. Oh, that's a beautiful card. It says, look at the moon in this card. It's so captivating. And the waves. So beautiful. It says nothing is yet set in stone. So whenever it says mutable moon, which is a hint for you, if there is any hint. Whenever this card comes up in my readings, when I do personal readings for people, I always give them an example that your future isn't, I believe that the future is never, ever set in stone. I believe that everybody's future evolves as we make our choices. As we move forward in our life, we actually create the future on the daily. So I think our choices are what makes our future. So that's what this card to me is what it's saying, is that if you have had a few challenges where you have been let down, or where you feel kind of not at your best, or where you feel that you have not had the appreciation you deserved, it's just asking you to not lose faith. It's just saying, it's very similar to the card before that, which came for Helen, which said, have faith in your dreams. But it's just saying it with a different tone. It's saying that you need to understand that you can change your trajectory at any point in time. You don't have to go on the path that you are currently on. If you find it uncomfortable, if you find that it's not really serving your highest and greatest good, you have the right to say no and move on and move into a different channel, different path, different future. So make your own future, girl. Nothing is set in stone. That's your card, and I love it. All the cards today are so path-breaking. Although the whole deck is path-breaking, is what I say, is why I love this deck. But the way they're coming up today for people is just absolutely beautiful. So there you go, Laurie. If you want to see it up close, I'm just going to show it for one more time. Taking the beauty of this card. It's so pretty. I love the moon against the waves. Absolutely love it. It's beautiful. Okay. Anybody else needs a card? Feel free to let me know. We still have a few minutes to go. And Anybody else needs a card, guys? Let me know. Just gonna shuffle and wait for a few more, and otherwise I'll just take out a collective reading and we'll end it there. I still have a few minutes to go, so if you want a card, you're most welcome, Laurie. You're absolutely welcome. I would advise people to, if you feel like you're still stuck, I think the energy has overall shifted for most of us in the year. But if you still feel like you're still stuck in the same energy that was until about October end, which feels very heavy, very suffocating, very debilitating, I would suggest that you kind of light a candle every evening. It could be any color, but I personally light a black candle, tea light candle every evening. Today I don't have a black candle on, I have a white one because I wanted just to have the energy cleared for the space. But generally a black candle is a great one to let go of all those feelings. So just light a black tea light candle every evening and just let it all burn out and just throw the remains away the next day or dispose of in the best way possible. Do it until you feel the energy clearing. So that will be the best thing for you this time, especially during the eclipse, because eclipse energies are very, very heavy, as I told you. They're not necessarily bad heavy, but it feels quite heavy on the spirit when it's starting, and it has the power to, like I said, change a lot of stuff. It has very highly transformative energies. And the time from the lunar, like eclipse never comes alone, as you might already know. A lunar eclipse always is followed by a solar eclipse. So the time between a lunar eclipse and the following solar eclipse is when the energy transformation takes place. So that's the time when they're very, very heavy, and you will feel like something is just ripping off the old you. So if you feel like you need to kind of lighten the load, burning candles always helps. Incense always helps also, but candles are more powerful during the eclipse. Okay, anybody else wants a card? Let me know. I'm right here. Or we'll just go with a collective card and then end the live here, and I'll come back for a live sometime next week when the eclipse is going to be upon us. That will be a very powerful time to do a reading, so we'll see. Okay, one card coming up for the collective, and whoever is here and whoever will be here in the next week or whenever they see this card, okay? It's another card for the collective, and it's a beautiful card. Like I said, it's a very transformative energy. As I speak, the card comes out and it says adjustments are required. For any kind of transformation to take place, flexibility is required. It's hard to accept change. It's always hard when changes are happening, and especially when heavy changes are happening internally, when your own internal spirit or your person is undergoing change. The way you are is undergoing a change. The way your surroundings is changing. If you're not flexible, it'll be very hard on you. So adjustments are required. Be flexible. Go with the flow. Just like the tree, if you see this card closely, there's a beautiful tree here. It's almost like bending to the winds and to the moon. Just like the trees bend under the wind, they don't break. It might be required the same of you to bend and not break. Okay? So that's a beautiful card. Okay, anybody else for a card? Otherwise we'll wind up, and you guys have a very, very beautiful, energetically healthy, cleansing, spiritually transformative week. And I'll see you again next week, hopefully. Thank you guys for joining us, and lots of blessings. Blessed be. Love and light, folks.